Welcome to session 5. By now, you have gained a really good awareness of your body and how it moves, and your core is really starting to gain some strength. I hope you're also feeling more positive about your body and have gained some confidence in what it is capable of. This week, we're taking it that one step further with some different positions and some more challenging exercises. Keep pushing yourself, but remember that you can still choose the right level for you by choosing to follow Nikki, Shakira, or myself. Okay, lovely, we're going to start in standing again. So let's just think about all our key points. Just find your center of gravity by rocking forwards and backwards and side to side. Coming to rest with equal weight between all those points. Hands down by your side. Make sure your knees are nice and soft. And let's just tip forwards and backwards through the pelvis. Again, you're just trying to loosen off through your lower back, waking up those deep core muscles. And then with your hands down by your side, float your head off of your shoulders. Just see if you can grow an inch for me. And next, we're going to focus on our breathing and our pelvic floor. So let's do that lovely umbrella breath in. You're expanding your ribcage in every direction. And then as you breathe out, that gentle lift and squeeze through your pelvic floor. Remember, you're zipping up all the way from your back passage round to the front. Fantastic. And we'll just connect with that for a few breaths. Make sure you can stay engaged. And then we're just going to do a few movements just to loosen off through the spine. So first of all, we're going to do that exercise where we come over the beach ball. So take your hands up over your heads for me, switching on through your pelvic floor, and then coming all the way over that ball, hanging low for a moment. And then let's stack back up segment by segment, just becoming really aware of all the movement at every single level in your spine. Breath in as you take your hands back to the sky. We're going to do 3 more. So hanging low, and then let's stack back up nice and slow. And again, reconnecting with that core. Give your spine a lovely hug with those core muscles. And stacking back up. Slow it down, nice and smooth. Last one for me. And stacking back up again. Fantastic, and let's take it right to the top of the movement just to finish off. Perfect. Right, we're all going to try our plie stand this time. You as well, Nikki. So if we come to a wider stance, turn your feet out 45 degrees. And when we do our plies, we keep our pelvis nice and upright. It's like you're running your back straight up and down a wall. And you're coming down with your hands as you take your knees out over your toes. And we get a nice kind of pelvic floor stretch doing it in this way. This time we're going to come down. Do a little side bend for me. Hold that for a moment and then see whether you can do 4 big sweeping circles with this arm. Now, if that's uncomfortable at any point, just do smaller circles. We'll do 2 more. Holding that plie. Lovely, fantastic. And then we're going to come back up and go down to the other side. And let's hold the side stretch for a moment. Reconnect with your core for me, and then off you go with those lovely arm circles. Let's do 2 more. Last one, everybody. Well done. Excellent. And then back up. Let's just walk our legs back in, and next we're going to come down onto the mat, but let's do a roll down to get there. So you're going to stand at the end of your mat, and we're coming down into a 4-point position. So again, switching on through your core. And we're going to pop chin onto your chest and then curling your spine 1 bone at a time. And I like to just hang there for a moment. Make your arms heavy. Feel that stretch through your spine and also that stretch all the way down the backs of your legs and through your hamstrings. We'll just hold for a moment. And then coming down onto your hands and knees for me. Okay, we're going to start with an arm and leg exercise. So we'll all start at the easier level, and then we'll progress on. Shakira will show you the next level, and I'll add a progression on for those who would like it. So just make sure you're still in your neutral pelvis, nice and strong across the back of your shoulders, and take the crown of your head away from your tailbone. Let's switch on through your core, so gentle lift and squeeze, and then we're going to all go into opposite arm and leg. So you're floating 1 arm long, and keep your toe in contact with the ground as you slide your leg behind you, drawing back and then swapping sides. Now remember, you're aiming to keep your pelvis in the middle. Don't be taking your hips side to side like this. Make sure you keep your tummy lifted so you're not arching through your back. Let's go again. And now on the next one, Shakira, you and I are going to start lifting that toe to horizontal. Try pushing your toe long rather than taking it up towards the sky, and you'll find it lifts naturally, and you'll just get that nice elongation through your whole body. Very good. We'll do one more, and then I'm going to add in a progression for anybody who would like it. So Shakira, keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to start doing the same side, and then I'm going to tap my knee to my elbow, and I'm going to go again. And we're going to do 2 more on that side for anybody doing the progression. Stay nice and strong. Keep your core engaged. Lovely. Popping down, and we're going to go with the other side. So stretching long, and then tap. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You all right? Gonna do 2 more, and then we're gonna all move on to the next exercise. Fantastic, very good. And coming back. Lovely. So, moving on to our leg pull exercise. You're going to do this, Nikki, in a box position. We're all gonna tuck our toes under.
Yep.
All right? And then, Nikki, you're going to do 5-second hovers. So you're going to switch on through your core, and you're going to come up onto your toes just to hover your knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. That's hard, isn't it? Tiny movement, but you really feel it. And then what we're going to do, Shakira, is you're going to do the same position, but you're, in that position, going to start bringing your knee in towards your chest, one side, then the other, and then pop down. Okay,
Yep.
So you're just driving your knee forwards towards your chest, one side, and then the other, and down. Okay,
Yep.
So let's all get going. So Nikki, you're doing the hovers. Shakira, you're doing the knee drives. Lovely. And then for anybody who wants to progress to the next level, you're going to bring your hands forwards for me. And we're going to do our knee hover, and then from there, you're going to take your bottom forwards to take your shoulders over your hands so that you're in a full plank position, okay? And then you're going to hold that, and then you're going to come back and down. Now, the mistake that we often see with this exercise is people take their bottom up into the air. So I'll show you what we don't want to be doing. We don't want to be coming up and then doing this, all right? You're doing knees up, push forwards so that your shoulders come over your hands. Keep your bottom low. Nice straight line with your body. How you doing, ladies?
Good.
You feeling it? Should we do one last set?
Yeah.
Okay. And one last full leg pull for those who are doing the progression. Well done, everybody. Nearly there. And back and down. I think we should give our hands a rest. What do you think? Let's go into a shell stretch. So feet together, knees nice and wide. Drop your bottom down towards your heels. Stretch your fingertips away. And remember, this is a really good opportunity to just make sure that you can release and relax through your pelvic floor. So on that in-breath, you want to be breathing right down into your pelvis for me, okay? We'll just do a few breaths. Good chance to catch your breath as well, hey?
Yeah.
Lovely. Let's do one more. Perfect. And then we're going to come back up into 4-point, and we're going to work our glutes in this position. So we're all going to do the same thing, but Nikki, if you want to do about 4 reps of each exercise, Shakira, you do about 6.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the full 8. So we're going to vary it by how many we do, okay? So you're going to keep your knee at 90 degrees when you come up behind you, but we're going to start by bringing that knee into the chest, and we're going to work on the same leg. So switching on through your core, you're going to bring one knee in towards your chest, and then take your foot up behind you, heel to ceiling with a bent knee. Stay on the same leg. Bring your knee to chest. So this is our second rep. Bring knee to chest. That's our third and 4. And then you can just rest, Nikki. Shakira, see if you can do 2 more for me. Lovely, last one. And then I'm going to do 2 more while you rest, Shakira. Fantastic, very good. And then I'd like you both to come to the top of the movement for me. So take your foot high. Now keep your foot as high as you can. Pivot round your foot in space. Take your knee out to the side and then in. So we're doing a little bit of a clam, but in this 4-point position. Keep your foot as high as you can. That's 3, 1 more for you, Nikki. 4, and rest. Shakira, see if you can do 2 more. That's 6, so you rest, Shakira. 2 more for me. Fantastic, well done. Bringing that leg down. I'm gonna go with the other side, all right? That was hard. I did feel my glutes shaking away there. Brilliant, let's go. So, other leg, knee to chest. Take your foot to the sky. And in. And up. So you're taking that heel as high as you can. Keep your knee bent. Last one. That's 4 for Nikki. Keep going, Shakira. That's 5. And 6. And rest, Shakira. 2 more for anybody who wants the progression. Go on, push 3. Well done. And then ladies, if you join back in, take your foot to the very top. Keep your foot as high as you can. Pivot that knee out to the side. And in. That's it. Try and keep your hips in the middle if you can. Don't take them over. 1 more for you, Nikki. Lovely, well done. And Shakira, 2 more for you. Fantastic, and rest. Last 2 for me. There we go, lovely. Well done, ladies. That was brilliant. I think we should stretch out our glutes. What do you think? Yeah? So we can do those in different positions. Nikki, do you want to do them in sitting for me? So you're gonna sit and take your foot across your knee, all right? Shakira, do you want to do them on your backs for me? You can demonstrate that one. So lying down on your back, like so. And I'm gonna show you all how to do it in your 4-point position. So you've got a few different options. Really just depends on your body type and what feels good for you. No matter what position you're in, you should just make sure you can feel a nice strong stretch through your glute that we've just been working. Can you all feel that? There. Yeah? Good stuff. And then when you're ready, let's swap sides. Fantastic. Brilliant. And from there, we're going to come down onto our backs and do a little bit of a set in that position. And we're going to start by thinking just a little bit about that control through our pelvis side to side. So first of all, just make sure that your feet are flat on the floor, your knees are hip width apart, just rocking through the pelvis a few times forwards and backwards. Find a comfortable position midway between the 2 of those movements. And we're going to start with the easier level. We're all going to pop our fingertips up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift and squeeze through our core, so switching on through the deep core. And then I want you to take one knee out to the side in that familiar exercise, but take the opposite hand directly out to the side at the same time, and then draw back in. Now you're working both sides of your brain here, which can be a little bit tricky to coordinate. And remember, you're trying to keep your pelvis still and your stationary knee still. So Nikki, you keep going with that level for me. Shakira, you and I are going to put our hands back on our hip bones. You're going to extend one leg, so your knee's straight, you're pointing your toe. Now keeping your pelvis really still, which is harder than it sounds, you're going to see whether you can draw small circles on the ceiling with your toe, one way and then the other. And I want you to do about 2 circles in each direction with that foot. And then we're going to swap sides. It's hard, isn't it? Yeah. And if you do small circles, it's a little bit easier. Big circles makes it a little bit harder. And if you swap legs for me and do a set with the other leg, I'm going to show everybody the progression. I'm going to come up into double leg tabletop without arching my back, staying engaged throughout my tummy muscles. In this position here, I've got my heels together. I'm going to see if I can take one knee out to the side and then the other knee. And I might add some arms into that as well if I can coordinate it. There we go. Try to keep the pelvis still. And remember, you're always focusing on how still you're keeping the stationary parts of your body rather than how far you're moving the parts that are moving. We'll just do a few more. Fantastic, very good. And Shakira, let's you and I pop our feet back down for a second. And we're going to just put our hands on our hip bones, all of us momentarily. We're going to come back up into single leg tabletop, okay? And then in that position there, make sure you switch on through your core. Just see whether you can extend your knee to take your toe long and then come back into tabletop. And this time, as you extend your knee, take your hands over your head without flaring your ribs up towards the ceiling, and then hands come all the way back down as you return the leg to tabletop. Gonna do 3 more on that side, and then Nikki, you're gonna swap to the other leg, while Shakira and I progress into a different position. Lovely. Let's do 1 more. Thinking about all those key points. Then Nikki, if you swap legs for me, Shakira, you and I are going to switch on strong through our core, lift through the pelvic floor, bring the other leg up into tabletop, all right? In that position there, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to take one leg long, as hands go over the head, and then we're going to return. And Nikki, if you just do 4 on one side and then swap sides, just keep doing those reps. Let's do 1 more each side. Shakira, and then I'm going to add another progression in as well. Lovely. So keep going, Shakira. And Nikki, progression is leg long and lower heel to ground, and then coming back up. Make sure you keep that core connection. You're not arching through your back as you take your leg long, and you're keeping your ribs soft. Relax through the shoulders. Remember to breathe. Have you all got enough to do? That was a lot of instructions all in a short space of time. Lots to think about. Lovely, keep going. We're gonna do 1 more each side, and Nikki, you're just working away with your reps. Fantastic, last one. Fantastic, very good. We'll just pop one leg down and the other leg down, just to rest, just for a second. Can you feel your tummy muscles working there? Yeah? Okay, so next we're all gonna go back up into double leg tabletop to start to do some scissors. So put your hands on your hip bones. I like to do that just to make sure I'm not arching through my back as soon as I come up into double leg tabletop. So it's a good idea to always just do 1 leg at a time so you can set your core. So switch on, float 1 leg up into into single leg tabletop and the other leg. Once you're there, make sure you're connected through your core, and you're gonna switch on, and as you breathe out, tap down with 1 toe. Remember, keep your knee at 90 degrees. You're doing the movement from your hip joint, and then draw the leg back up. And the other side. And it's important you breathe out as you do it so that you're not bearing down on your pelvic floor. If you feel any sensations through your pelvic floor, such as that heaviness or that dragging or that bulging or that leakage, just come down into single leg. It just means your pelvic floor isn't quite ready for that degree of pressure. Okay. And let's do another one. Right, Nikki, you're gonna keep going with those for me. Shakira, you and I are gonna super glue our legs together, and we're gonna do double leg lowering, really breathing out, really paying attention to what's going on in pelvic floor. You're gonna do it with your knees bent. So you don't have to get your toes to the ground, and then come back up. As you do that, do you feel your back wanting to arch? Really resist that. You wanna make it slightly easier. Bend your knees a little bit further. So that they're no longer at 90. Lovely. And then for the progression, you can do legs long. I can't get my feet all the way to the floor in this position, just so you know. So you're gonna come in this position here, legs as low as you can before you lose control through your lower back. And again. Very good. I'm gonna attempt 2 more. Keep going, ladies. See, I'm not so great at that one. But that's okay, still working on it. Fantastic, well done. And then just bending your knees, remember to put 1 foot down and then the other, and relax. Lovely, so moving on to some bridge work. So bring your heels nice and close to your bottom for me. We're all gonna start with Nikki's level first of all. How about we keep our hands on our hip bones? I find in bridge work that my pelvis wants to kind of tilt down on one side. So I find if I keep my hands on my hip bones, I've got a little bit more feedback just to make sure that that isn't happening. So switching on through your core, we're not going to go up segmentally, we're just lifting into bridge this time. And we're going to start by all just lifting 1 foot just a few inches off the floor, switching on through your core, and just lift your bottom just an inch, and you're just going to hover, paying attention to your control around your pelvis. Try to keep your pelvis as level as you can. And then let's pop down and swap sides. Switch on and hover. And again, you're aiming to keep breathing, aiming to stay nice and soft through your shoulders. Well done, and swap sides again. We're just doing about 5-second holds on this one. Well done, everybody. Good. And back again. And then Shakira, we're going to go on to some 1 leg bridge work. Really, again, focusing on that form and that control. So you're going to go, Shakira, into a tabletop position. I'm going to go into a straight leg position. Let's aim to do about 4 on one side and then 4 on the other. Nikki, you're just keeping going with your alternate hovers. So switching on, Shakira, and then take your hips high. You're in tabletop. I'm in a straight leg. That's 1, 2. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Very good, and let's swap sides. So again, Shakira, you're in tabletop, I'm in straight leg. Off we go, trying to keep your pelvis level. Get your hips as high as you can by pushing down through your heel. And that supporting side, let's do 2 more. Well done. Last one. Fantastic, everybody. Right, let's leave those glutes alone for a little bit. Work on a different part of the body. We're going back to our tummy muscles, okay? So, abdo prep work. Interlock your hands and put them behind your head for a little bit of support through your head and your neck. Your knees are back to hip width apart, feet nice and flat on the floor. We're going to go straight into an abdo prep with a heel slide. So, lifting and squeezing through your pelvic floor. And as you breathe out, up and over with your head and shoulders as you slide one heel roll. And then bring that heel back as you take your head back down to the floor. And let's go the other side. Lovely. So Nikki, you're going to keep going with that for me. Yeah. All right. Shakira, you're going to do the same action, but you're going to come up into single leg tabletop. So let's just do 1 each side, and then I'll add the progression, and you'll keep going. So let's pop that foot down, other leg comes up, off you go again. Well done. So you keep going with that one, Shakira. For the progression, up into double leg tabletop, and off you go. Lovely, well done. As you do this, make sure that you're not flattening your lower back down into the mat. Try and keep that natural curve through your lower back, the same throughout. You're just coming over with those shoulders and with that head in a nice fluid movement. Well done. Should we do 2 more each side? What do you think? We got to. You're just going to keep going. Last one. Very good, everybody. Well done. And just relax for a moment. We're going to do a very similar movement, but bringing in these muscles that come around the side of our trunk, the obliques that kind of give us a nice hug. So we're going to go again, but adding a little bit of a crossover into it this time. And again, we'll progress up through the levels. Okay, so here we go. The first one, we're going to do no legs at all, just going to do the tummy muscles. So up we go, switching on through your core, and then take your shoulder over towards your opposite hip. And then roll back down, and then shoulder to the other hip. Good job. Nikki, you keep going on those for me, all right? And then Shakira, we're gonna add in a leg for a little bit of a crisscross. The opposite leg comes up into tabletop, lovely. And then let's do the other side. Very good, everybody. Fantastic. And then I'm going to come up into double leg tabletop for this one as the progression. And I'm going to bring my shoulder over as the opposite leg goes long and then down. And again, we won't do too many because our tummy muscles are pretty hard. Let's do 1 more each side. Last one. Fantastic. Okay, let's bring knees to chest. Rock up side to side. Ease off through those tummy muscles and just into a nice torpedo stretch. So stretch your toes in one direction, fingertips in the other. Stretching out through those tummy muscles. Very good. And then while we're here, let's just have a good stretch through the hamstrings. So you're going to take one leg up into this tabletop position, grasp behind your knee, just straighten your leg towards the sky, and you should feel that stretch down the back of your thigh. Can everyone feel that? Yeah, good stuff. And let's just hold that stretch for a moment. Very good, everybody. And swapping sides. Very good, well done. And pop that leg down for me. Lovely. So for the next exercise, we're going to come over onto our side into a side plank position. You're resting on your elbow and you want to have your body in a nice straight line. So my knees and my hips and my shoulders are all there, nice and straight, but my knees are at 90 degrees and my feet out behind me. So Nikki, you're going to just be staying and maintaining this position. I want you to make sure that you're lifting your side up off of the mat so that your spine is in a nice straight line, including your head and your neck, and you're nice and high on that shoulder, not kind of collapsing down into it, okay? So staying nice and high, lifting and squeezing through your core. And Shakira, we'll do a few of these and then we'll move on as well, okay? So what we're going to be doing is keeping that nice high position through the side of the trunk and just coming over with your hand over your head and then coming back again. And Nikki, you're just going to keep doing that, maintaining that lovely position, focusing on your core and your pelvic floor as well, just making sure that you're keeping that connection too, okay? And then from there, Shakira, we're going to come up into a side plank position. I want you to keep your hand on your hip for me, and you're just going to lift up with your hips as high as you can, and then come down again. And we're going to keep going. Lovely. And then I'm going to add another progression into that by combining the two and then down. Well done. Is that okay? Yeah. Lovely. And we're going to do another 4. So let's keep going. Taking those hips as high as you can. Engaging through the pelvic floor. Nice and high on that shoulder as well. Well done. One more, everybody. Fantastic. And from there, we're going to come up into a high kneeling position. Now, if you're not comfortable on your knees, you can also do this part in standing. But if you are kneeling like so, and we're just going to start with a nice chest stretch exercise. So put your hands behind your head for me. And I want you to take your chin and your breastbone up towards the sky on an in-breath, and then release. And let's just do another 3. And as you do this, still lifting and squeezing gently through the pelvic floor. And I think working in high kneeling, it's a nice position because you get a little bit of automatic glutes engagement. Can you feel that? Can you feel your glutes kind of kicking in just naturally? Lovely. Very good. And now a really nice stretch for the shoulders and the arms. If you pop your hands like so, with palms up towards the sky, start with your elbows in at your side. You're then going to rotate your hands out to the side, extend through the arms and turn your palms down towards the floor. And then we're going to reverse, come back in. That feels lovely, doesn't it? Yeah. That's a nice one. And again, you're just aiming to keep this lovely alignment through your spine, gentle core connection. You've got that gentle glutes activation going on as well. Let's do one more, everybody. Very good. Excellent. So for the next exercise, if you're in standing, I want you to do some squats. What we're going to do in our high kneel position, we're going to take our hands up over our head as you take your bottom down towards your heels, and then you're going to push back up, pushing your hips forwards. Really thinking about that glutes activation as you do that. And also as we come back up, of course, we do a breath out and a pelvic floor lift. Lovely. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And the last one. Fantastic. Brilliant. And now, because as you know, I love stretching out these muscles at the front of the hips, so we're going to do that while we're here. So you're coming forwards with that one knee. That's it. And again, you can do this in standing, just in a split stance. Tuck your tailbone under, hips come forwards, keep your shoulders back. And on the side that you're stretching, that hand comes up and over, just to accentuate that stretch through the front of your hip. Well done. We'll just hold that. Everyone okay? Yeah. Yeah? Can you feel the stretch? Yeah. Yep. Brilliant. Just hold it another few seconds. Reach long with those fingertips. And let's swap sides. So bring that arm round and swap to the other leg. Same thing again. Tuck your tailbone under. Push those hips forwards. Keep your shoulders back. And over we go. Well done. Very good. Fantastic. And coming back again. Lovely. And from there, we're going to come down onto our side plank position on the other side. So resting through your elbow, make sure that your shoulder's directly above your elbow joint. and your knee, hip and shoulder in a nice straight line. Feet are pointing out behind you. And Nikki, you're aiming to just stay nice and high through that trunk, nice and high through the shoulder, and nice straight line through the head and the neck and the spine. And then we'll do a few as well with Nikki, and then we'll move on. So switching on through your core and coming over with your hand and then back, and just maintaining that lovely alignment through your trunk. And then Shakiri, we're gonna come up with our hand on our hip into a side plank and down again. And let's repeat that. And you're just gonna keep going up and down. Then for the progression, I'm gonna add in a hand overhead. Well done, everybody. Good. Let's do a few more. How about do 4 more? That's 1, 2 more. 3, and the last one. Well done, everybody. Fantastic. Right, let's come all the way up into standing to do some exercises that are a little bit more dynamic. Let's rock back onto our heels, straighten your knees as far as is comfortable for you, and then coming up segment by segment, nice and slow and controlled. Brilliant. And then I'm going to do a few exercises in standing. They're a bit more dynamic. So we're going to stand side on just so that you can see what we're doing. You might need a little bit of support for this one. So just make sure that you have a wall or a chair next to you, even just popping down a few fingers just to keep your balance and stay nice and safe. So what we're going to do, you're going to switch on through the core. And then from there, you're going to come up into a single leg stand. So remember, you're taking your nose over your big toe. All right. And then we're going to take that leg behind you as you come forwards with your hands into a Superman balance. Stretch your toe long, stretch your fingers long, and then let's return to that single leg stand. Lovely. And the trick with this exercise is actually to do it as slow as possible. Really focus in on your control. What's going on around that ankle? What's going on around your supporting hip? And what's going on in your core, and see whether you can stretch along with those fingertips and with that toe. Remember, it's okay if you need to hold on to something to keep your balance. Let's do 1 more. Fantastic, well done. That's a tricky one. Did really well. Let's swap sides, okay? And try with the other foot. So again, switching on through your core, coming up into tabletop, and then when you're ready, off we go. Now I find we all seem to have a good side and a not so good side. We're doing this exercise, and this is my not so good side, so we'll see how we go. Do you feel all those muscles working around your foot and your ankle?
Yes.
Yeah. Great exercise. We're working an awful lot of different muscles, concentrating really hard as well. Fantastic. We're going to do 1 last one, everybody. Oh, well done. I'm proud of you. That was brilliant. Very good. Okay. Right, and feet down. So in our last session, we were looking at doing some jumps, weren't we? Some kind of 2-footed forward jumps, like so, really engaging through the pelvic floor. Going to progress that a little bit today. When you think about running is actually just repeated single leg jumps, okay? So for anybody who's wanting to maybe try any form of running, or really just any form of activity that involves a bit more dynamic movement during your day, it's really important that we know how to incorporate our core and our pelvic floor into those activities, okay? So we're all going to do our single leg leaps forward, but we can make it a little bit easier, a little bit harder based on how far we leap, all right?
Yeah.
So we're going to think about what we've been doing in the other sessions, thinking about how to switch on through the core and the pelvic floor. We're going to engage first of all, so you're doing that lift and squeeze. Then once you've done that, you're just going to take a simple leap forwards and then 2 steps back. All right? And then we're going to go with the other foot. And while you're doing it, when you're going out for a run, you're just enjoying the run and what's around you. While we're here doing this exercise, I want you to really focus on what's happening in your core and your pelvic floor. Okay, that's the purpose of what we're doing. So let's switch on, lift and squeeze through your pelvic floor, and then let's do our leap. Good, and then we're going to come back. Excellent, let's go with the other foot. And again, All right, and back again. And again, you may find that you can only do a few, and then you start to feel a little bit of weakness through your core and your pelvic floor. And at that point, it's just time to stop. That's just your pelvic floor saying, I'm getting a little bit fatigued. And you can just keep increasing how many you can do over time as that muscle strengthens. All right? How you doing?
Okay.
Yeah? Good. Let's do one more each side, everybody. Last one. Fantastic. Very good. And then turning to face the front, and we're just going to finish off with our lovely core breaths, all right? So a nice big breath in. And out. So put your hands behind your head. And in. And then round. And then just shutting your eyes like we have in the other sessions. And just do that lovely little body scan for me. Check in on how you're feeling. Do one last breath. So breath in. And out as you take your hands behind your head. And in as you take your hands back towards the sky. And round. Well done. Brilliant. I hope you enjoyed that. Your body really is amazing, and I hope that you're starting to see what it is capable of and are feeling positive and also proud of what you're achieving. This week, Denise has asked you to make a list of activities that bring you pleasure, and Shakira and I would like you to do the same. Spend some time brainstorming what physical activities or exercise brings you enjoyment, and think about whether you like to exercise on your own, with a friend, or in a group.